Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there. Hello, kids. We're back for revenge. No, we're back for your favorite show.
Well, I mean, I'm salty and you're petty, so I think revenge is right up our lane.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yes, kids, because, as always, she's a little bit salty.
He's a whole lot of petty, and together we are the Salty and Petty Podcast. Duh.
And yes.
And we got a score to settle with a certain someone, but, you know.
That's right, because we're going to cover Kill Bill Volume 1. So, no.
It was hard rewatching this movie, and we'll get into it.
Oh. Okay. So, yes, you know we're all about revenge here, kids. Oh, I didn't get out. Let me grab my Hattori Hanzo swords. Under my lightsabers.
Silly white guys shouldn't be playing with swords.
All right, so should we get into this?
Yeah.
I can't believe this is 2003. 2000. I'm like, it doesn't seem like that long.
It's old enough to drink.
It is.
Well, technically, probably not for another couple months, but yeah. I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up in when Quentin Tarantino had everybody in a thrall, and all his movies were, just they were guaranteed bona fide gonna make some money. But then a lot of things have come out about Quentin Tarantino, like a lot of things have come out about a lot of directors from back then, and it really puts a lot of these scenes in a new light. Like, I don't know if you've heard about that whole controversy between Uma Thurman and Quentin Tarantino, where she said it was very unsafe, and that he would like spit and choke on her in between scenes to keep the things going. Yeah, so like it was really hard for me to rewatch this because I just hate Quentin Tarantino in all reality now. It's been a long while that I've not really cared for him.
I mean, is he just trying to be method, or is there? I mean,
no, a lot of people have come out and said that about him, but like she's the biggest star that has.
Oh, he does it like every movie.
Well, to a certain degree, but I think that's crazy. Like, she's fucking Uma Thurman.
I know.
Uma, Phil! Uma! And he did this to her. So it's kind of crazy. Wow. I was just kind of like researching. I was just like, because it was like a big deal when he was doing those Grindhouse movies and how they were doing like that one movie where it's like the car hit. But she almost died in a car crash while filming this movie.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's wild because I remember everybody's he cast all these women over 40 or whatever it was. I think they were all over 40, all the women in his movie. And they were all showing feet, but that's not my business.
Oh my God, you're big toe. Yeah. Oh yeah, isn't that the other thing isn't that the rumor he has a foot fetish?
Every weirdo has a foot fetish, yeah. So this movie, let's get into it and we'll talk about some other troubling things at the end. This movie came out in October 10th, 2003. Wow. We were doing really crazy things.
Oh yeah.
My favorite thing actually about this movie is that the music is by RZA. If you don't know, I love me some Wu-Tang, and RZA is one of the most talented members of them. And he got into doing a lot of different things after the dissemination of Wu-Tang, shall we say. And so yeah, it was like, that's an interesting artistic choice, and I meant that genuinely. I think that is my favorite thing, and it's crazy to think that like this is a Miramax film because that means it's Paramount now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's really funny to think about now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe the runtime's only 111 minutes. It feels longer, like not in a bad way, but I definitely feel like the movie's longer than that.
Is it just because there's like so many different like scenes, just like and jumping back and forth, and I don't know.
Like objectively, structurally, I like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you start like don't pull, well, with any Quentin Tarantino movie you can't really pull the threads too hard, especially like his more recent stuff where he's like doing that alternate history stuff. Like I think that started with like Inglourious Basterds, right?
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. Like, you can't really pull the threads too hard over here. But this one, I mean, I get it. We all know what he was going for with this movie. And it was just like, and that was kind of a thing back in the early 2000s. Is like they were kind of doing back to those throwbacks to like, blaxploitation films and spaghetti westerns and stuff like that.
Nostalgia.
It's always been a thing, right? But some nostalgia eras are better than others, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a 90s kid, I have to say our nostalgia era was better. The 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
And again, I mean, there's certain themes that never go out of style, like revenge.
Exactly. And you might think it's crazy. Like, I know we don't make westerns like we used to, but westerns were bankable things back. Like, there's literally over 1 million westerns, really. And John Wayne stars at least 999. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
Clint Eastwood has a good portion too.
I mean, you see those like old school actors now complaining about like comic book movies and stuff. It's like, well, it's cycles.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, it used to be westerns.
Damn you, Louis Lamont.
It used to be westerns.
Yep, used to be westerns. But yeah, so I mean, I totally appreciate the aesthetics on this. And like, listen, I like, objectively, I can like a Quentin Tarantino film. I just can't think too hard about it. Like, one of my favorite movies ever, is, I won't say what the movie is, but I'll tell you, it stars Christian Slater, and that'll give you everything you need to know. Now, he didn't get to direct that movie, but he did write it. And it's one of my favorite. And that's what he was mostly known for, actually, when we were growing up. He didn't really get into, like, directing. Like, you think Reservoir Dogs and, what's the other one? The one with Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, which I hate that movie, actually.
You know what? I could say I'm not, like, a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, but for some reason... Well, I think just the theme and just I was at the right place at the right time. I mean, the Kill Bill ones, I like these way more than the rest of Tarantino's
Well,
stuff.
it's like, he wasn't really doing a lot of action. A lot of his movies are very Bendis. It's a lot of
yeah.
It's okay. Like, for Reservoir Dogs, I really enjoyed that because it was very much a bottle movie, which you didn't really see a lot of back then. Like, he would do interesting techniques. Now I just feel like he's a hack. Like, I think this is where he peaked, and everything else after Kill Bill 2 is just kind of. And he won't make a Kill Bill 3.
Does it need a 3?
We need the daughter to get revenge on Uma. I'm sorry, we just do.
Oh,
there was a promise that was made, and I need to see it fulfilled.
You mean from the beginning of this movie? Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Hell, it's been almost 21 years.
Yeah, literally. The kid is well enough old to drink.
You could do it, yeah.
Training like Batman, But yeah, let's just get into it. So Kill Bill Volume 1 from 2003, directed by Quentin Tarantino. It was written by Quentin Tarantino as well. I know somebody else helped him with the screenplay, but it's not in here, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. And it's definitely an homage to a lot of things. Like he was, like I said, like that. There was that whole Grindhouse thing that he did with Robert Rodriguez that came out around this time, and I feel like this was very much inspired by that. And then also obviously anime, but like you have samurai cinema and westerns and blaxploitation films, and it's just like, it's just a grab bag, but the way that he puts it together, it was interesting. And this is the Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 was supposed to be a whole movie, and it's like, well, this was pre-Marvel where people would sit for 3 hours with no problem. I mean, even Oppenheimer was 3 hours, and that's a damn biography. It's a film.
I know.
It's super good. If you don't love Cillian Murphy, something's wrong with you. Nolan finally gave him something to do besides be Scarecrow. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't released this at some point where it's just like, in a theater somewhere where they just run the whole thing.
What's crazy is that it had a budget of $30 million and it made $180 million. In 2000s money.
Yep.
I never really was a fan of the plot, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's just so over the top, right? Like, and I've watched a lot of like those like samurai movies and those like black food movies, you know, like the Luke Cage of it all, right? And you look at it, it's like, well, everybody had to eat,
Yeah.
You can't really, everybody had to fill their niche at the time, so you can't be too mad about it. But I think it was like the highest grossing Quentin Tarantino film to that point, which made sense. It's Uma Thurman. Like, the cast is stacked, right? We have Lucy Liu. Who doesn't love Lucy Liu? High off of her,
Charlie's Angels,
Charlie's Angels, yeah. And also Ally McBeal. We had Daryl Hannah.
Yes.
And I was like, damn, where you been, Chica?
Yeah, I mean, you're not used to seeing her in like, something like this.
Yeah, it was really great. Like I said, he just really, really when it gets cast. You had David Carradine, and you're just like, what are you doing? It's one of those movies.
Well, that's like, what's the first thing? It's like you don't even see him on camera. You just hear the voice, and you're like, oh, it's David Carradine. Yeah.
If you're a 90s kid and you grew up watching Saturday syndication, you know that voice. So, yeah, I thought that was really, like, listen, the cast is stacked. You got Sonny Chiba, you got Michael Madsen, which he just plays a bad guy to a T all the time.
Yeah.
He's typecast. Like, I think my favorite thing of Quentin Tarantino, he was in Reservoir Dogs, if you don't know. And he was also in The Hateful Eight, which is another, like, Quentin Tarantino movie. And then also Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I think is his best. It's his best Quentin Tarantino movie. I love Michael Madsen.
Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah. And that was an interesting artistic choice. I love Vivica, but, like, that was an interesting artistic choice.
Well, again, I mean,
like she's black famous. Like, I don't think most white people probably even knew her up at that point. So I just thought that was super interesting.
Well, and again, too, I mean, out of that whole Assassin's Club, I mean, she got the least amount of screen time because, I mean, except for flashbacks, we pretty much kill her in the beginning of the movie.
Get it? Get it? Get it?
And I get that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was like, what's this, a horror movie? Oh, okay.
And it's so weird that it's like, yeah, it makes sense to be at the beginning of the movie, but then she's number 2 on the list. I was like, why? I mean, I'm like, really?
What? Baby's got a good manager. That's what that means.
What?
Yeah, baby's got a good manager. Like, you know, like where you appear in the film, it's everything's political with an actor. Well, not political, but like,
no, I just meant like story wise. I'm like, oh, why wouldn't you go after the one who doesn't have an army first? You know.
Well, you need action. Like, again, like I said, you can't pull at the threads too hard.
I guess too. It's like, well, I was in the neighborhood getting a new sword, so the finest sword ever crafted by man. So I guess I'll just swing by.
Well, test it out before you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, it took me a while to warm up to this movie, because he does some weird things, like we don't find her name out, and like,
oh yeah, till the next movie,
all these little things. It's like we start off and she's in a coma, and
oh, that gets creepy too.
I mean, and that's a real thing that happens in hospitals, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, I mean, aren't there stories? Yeah, like women in coma suddenly getting pregnant.
Yeah, suddenly.
Yes, how'd that happen?
So yeah, we kind of start off in 1999, and the bride, and she's rehearsing her marriage in this chapel in El Paso, Texas, because it's always El Paso. And the deadly vipers, they don't seem that deadly to me.
Well, they can slaughter a whole church.
Ooh, that's real hard to do.
I know. So
she tells Bill he's the father of her unborn child, and he just shoots her in the head, bro. And I'm like, ooh.
And again,
that's what Texas abortion law looks like, huh?
Oh, jeez.
Yikes.
And I'm like, how good of an assassin can he be if he can't kill her at point blank range unless he didn't want to?
He didn't want to. So. And it's like, bro, she was going to come after you.
Yes. But, yes, all these assassins named after snakes. I think Marvel, Marvel.
Bro, Vivica Fox is right. What are you doing?
I know. She's like, I should.
That's crazy.
I know. Shouldn't Uma have been Cottonmouth? She was the spitter.
Ooh. But no, he kind of said, it's dishonorable to kill her while she's defenseless. So when he goes into the coma.
Oh yeah, because we get the whole Daryl Hannah's about ready to kill her, and he's like, no. He's like, one thing we won't do. He's like, we beat her to hell, we shot her in the head, and she still survived. He's like, one thing we won't do is sneak in, and
life has a way. Life finds a way.
I know.
Love her when she wakes up. She starts kicking ass and taking names. I think that's my favorite part of this whole movie.
That's just so funny. She thinks she's. Is that looking at the hands? I mean, was she just like focusing, or was that her saying, "Look at the lines on my hands"? Oh, it's been years.
Yeah, I think so.
So I love how she thinks she's just gonna get out of bed and the legs aren't working.
No, babes. Your muscles have atrophied. Sorry, darling.
Mm-hmm. No.
Steals this truck though, so that's fine.
Buck's truck, yes.
So yeah, we start with Vernita, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm just leading the suburban life." And I love how, like, she's, like, hiding the knife. Like, I like the knife fight a lot.
Oh, yeah, breaking coffee tables and everything.
Then and I, too, keep a pistol in the box of cereal. You got
to. She kicks the coffee cup at him.
Oh, yeah.
But then,
and then we see her go to Okinawa, and I'm just like, no offense, right? Like, I know it's a movie, but I just feel like he wouldn't be selling it to a white lady. I don't get those vibes.
Well, he wasn't going to until she mentioned Bill's name. She's like... Even
then, it's like... It's his former student, though, so I get it. It's giving Tom Cruise as The Last Samurai. I get it, bro.
I mean, I guess it was probably implied, but I was just waiting for her to say, yeah, he wronged me in a major way, so yeah, you know, you created this evil.
What is understood doesn't need to be explicitly stated.
True.
You know, and that's how those movies are. Like, if you've ever watched a ton of samurai cinema, you know, the deranged protege, yeah.
I mean, and I do like where he's like, oh, it'll take me a month to make the sword, so it's not like, you know, she went running out to, you know, battle this army, you know, 5 minutes after getting out of that hospital bed. So I did like that point.
Yeah, definitely. And then she goes to Tokyo.
Yes.
And there's another death. Like, I love how after she dies, the whole team just dispersed. Like, really?
I know that was my thing. I'm like, did we disperse or did we just get together for special occasions? I'm just like. Or are people there, or is it just like a mob where everyone kind of does their own solo thing? The heads
of the family.
And then you just kick up money to Bill or something, yeah.
It's just like, Bill didn't even seem that, like, honestly, we'll get there in the
next one. Because if it's not for money, why would Bill, like, didn't she say he, like, sponsored, what's her face, Lucy Liu's character, you know, to become the head of the underworld in Tokyo,
The Yakuza,
Yeah. And then you get the whole weird. I
love that animation.
We switched to anime.
Sorry,
I mean, yeah, it was good, but yeah. So I know
it was unexpected. So it's just like, oh, that's something. Like, I was like, yeah, you're probably a weebo. That probably tracks. That probably makes sense. But I thought that was cool. A little on the nose, but cool.
I just wondered.
And I think it was to downgrade the rating or something, because if they would have done it actually.
Oh yeah. It would have been a little cheaper too. So you don't have to do all that effects and stuff. And
yeah.
No, I thought it worked.
She had the best backstory, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I think they gave her the most fleshed out backstory, yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird. It's like, yeah, I would love to see a spinoff of that, but it's a little too late. I mean, not to be ageist, but we all know how Hollywood is. But I thought that, you know, he didn't strike while the iron was hot with this, because he's like I said, he's that really weird, I only want to do a certain amount of movies and whatever.
He's an artiste. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Who loves feet.
Yeah. Yeah, she amputates that poor assistant's arm.
Oh, yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Well, again, she was another one to get revenge on, because, you know, even though she didn't strike any physical blows, she was the one they showed her in the flashback. She's standing there with a phone, but, you know, she's just casually conducting business as, you know, the bride's getting killed.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man. But the Crazy 88, I just love it. I love it.
Oh yeah,
the schoolgirl scene. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's some fetish stuff right there. If I ever seen it.
Oh yeah, isn't it? What was it, yo-yo or?
Yeah.
Well,
the duel in the restaurant's Japanese garden is epic, though. I love
just the spurting blood and yes,
slices the top of her head off, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh, you know who my favorite is though? I know you, Charlie Brown's son.
Oh man! And then she leaves, because after she's done torturing Sophie for information, she leaves her alive as a threat. Like, what?
Well, it's one of those.
And she's like, "Hey, by the way, you know your daughter's alive."
That was her cliffhanger. Oh yeah.
I was just I kind of, the best way to go into Quentin Tarantino movies is not to look into it. Just kind of avoid all the spoilers, because I didn't know what this movie was about. Didn't know, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, okay. I see samurai swords. This should be fun.
Oh yeah, I remember the trailers for this. Yeah, did you see this?
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie with friends. Like,
oh yeah, I have these on DVD. Did you watch this in the theater when it came out?
Yeah, I went to the theater, and then when it came out on DVD, like 3 years later, we got, like, back in the day, DVDs did not, like, at first it was like 3 years, then it turned into 1 year, then it turned into, like, I've lived.
I didn't think it was 3 years. I thought they turned it around this one a little quicker, because I thought.
Well, no, yeah, I was just being facetious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it wasn't like the next month, but yeah.
You know how long it took E.T. to come to VHS? Like, oh my god, my dad told me that, and he would just bring that. You know how lucky you are.
Oh yeah, it was years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that was like back in the day, like in those early 80s, like a movie would spend the whole summer at the theater.
Yeah, this one I think they had a turnaround of like basically like about a little under a year. But there, and then it wasn't like a special edition, and that was like a whole thing because like Quentin Tarantino is usually really big into doing like commentary and special editions, like that's kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like his version of a director's cut, basically.
Yeah, I thought they released this before 2 came out, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I said, I think the DVDs came out. Let me think. I think it was on spring break, my first year of college, so probably like April of 2004, probably because we did watch it on our spring break. So yeah, it had to be April 2004. So.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to.
Yes, I'm old. What about it?
Shut up.
I love the score of this music.
Yes.
Of the soundtrack. The soundtrack, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people love it too. Actually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That one song is iconic. The whistle song.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean. Oh. I pull this up. Yeah, because what was there? There was Nancy Sinatra on there. You get the Green Hornet theme out of nowhere.
Well, not out of nowhere.
Yeah, I guess, but
of course he has Isaac Hayes on there too. So.
Oh yeah, because each movie got its own soundtrack.
Yeah, I always forget that Quentin Tarantino did Jackie Brown, which had a banger of a soundtrack as well too.
Oh yeah.
Like that's one of those not so Quentin Tarantino movies. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess Harvey Weinstein's to blame why we have 2 films instead of 1. Another thing they hate him for, I guess.
Saying separated, people aren't going to want to sit there the whole time. They'll watch the whole thing.
Maybe just your fat ass doesn't want to do it. I don't know.
Well, he had to get out and rape people, so.
Exactly.
Ugh.
But yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't think it holds up for me.
Oh,
honestly.
really?
Like,
Why not?
It's okay. But like I said, like just in retrospect, when you like look at stuff, and I'm just like, oh, it's kind of tainted now.
Oh, just because who made it and just.
And I think that 1 is better than 2. Spoilers. I mean, from a story perspective, I think the story kind of starts to fall apart in 2 a little bit. Like I said, you can't tug those threads too much, right?
And is it just we know what to expect? The shock value's gone and stuff, and.
I definitely think that's what it was. This one was just riding high on. This was very different from Quentin Tarantino. And it's Uma Thurman, and like the cast was just really cool. But like now you've kind of killed the people that I cared the most about. Like I don't care about Bill, honestly.
I mean, and again, I mean, you didn't get a huge battle like in the second one, like you got here with the Crazy 88, right?
Yeah, you just like the ending. It's like it's satisfying, but it's quiet. It's a quiet ending.
Yes. Should there have been a big explosion?
I don't know, but this one is definitely, I think, better than the second one. And this one's more quotable too.
Yeah.
As well, I think.
Yeah.
But like you can't even be mad about her. Like her revenge is deserved.
Well, yeah, I think
like there's no sympathy for any of these people.
I think that was the whole point. They needed to go over the top, and there's no room for doubt. Yeah, revenge is completely justified.
Yeah. It's that when he does like the red flashes, that is the part of the movie that I thought I might have had maybe baby epilepsy or something, because that part of the movie bothers me so bad with that noise and the red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that drives me crazy every time.
But yeah, and then like you said, just the foot fetish and stuff. And
it's like, so when you start going back, it's just like so noticeable.
Look at your big toe.
It's just so funny, but like I thought Uma did a really, really great job. Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
And then like he actually put a line from freaking Wrath at Khan, and then
at the beginning.
Okay, because you wanted to write Star Trek, we get it. No, true story.
I know.
We all know about Quentin Tarantino Star Trek.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can't consider yourself a real Star Trek nerd. So I thought that was kind of funny too, in retrospect, when I thought about it. He's like, your name's Buck, right?
And I like that.
Exactly. You of course you know that's my favorite line.
Oh yeah.
Or it's mercy, compassion, and forgiveness I lack, not rationality.
Yes.
That's quite up there.
Oh my god! And that's just Buck's truck with the logo on the back and the matching keychain. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, also, Hattori Hanzo's quote, "I can tell you with no ego, this is my finest sword. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut."
Yes. That is some samurai movie crap. Yes.
I was like, epic. I love it. Put it on a t-shirt.
You know, it's basically an adamantium blade. It'll cut through anything.
Let's see. What's another one?
But yeah,
oh, well, they agree with us because they say that woman deserves her revenge and we deserve to die.
Yes. Yeah, it was not Michael Madsen's
That's
line,
the second one, though, but like, yeah.
Well, they kind of do a flash at the end of almost like things to come, and I think Madsen does drop that quote at the end of this one, yeah.
But it's crazy, like, it's just so over the top. Like, sometimes it's a fun watch, other times it's not, I guess. It's like, I think you have to be in the mood for this movie. It's one of those things. I think you have to be very much in the mood. Like, I definitely have to be in the mood to watch, like, Reservoir Dogs. I've only ever seen Pulp Fiction, like, 3 times. It's a slog. Like, some of his stuff is a slog.
I consider these two, for me, the Kill Bill 1 and 2 are pretty much the only Tarantino stuff I, like, will rewatch. Otherwise I'm just like, eh.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, Reservoir Dogs is the best movie. It is. I will recommend that one highly every time.
Okay. I have a question for you. All right. On a scale of revenge movies, Kill Bill, if you want to do just the first one or if you want to do 1 and 2 combined.
Yeah, 1 and 2 combined because that was his intent. Yeah, that's the directorial intent. So I'm just going to do that. 1 and 2 combined. All right. How does it fall on the revenge scale? Is it above or below, say, The Crow? Ooh, why would you?
I know. But they're both kind of revenge movies.
See, but it's so different.
I know, because
it's like a supernatural kind of thing.
Yeah, and this one's kind of more grounded.
And the atmosphere of it, and it
I know, it's comparing.
It was one of those happenstance circumstances. It's like Bruce Wayne's parents dying, right? It's like one of those things. It's not like, well, I was a bad person before I was in the coma. I was in this deadly gang of assassins.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing. So I don't see it on the same level as The Crow. If you want to go pure revenge, rightly, like, just a normal innocent person who was done wrong and gets their revenge, but kind of loses their way in the way. Crow is top notch in that aspect. Yeah. But bad guy getting revenge on other bad guys, this is the top notch movie.
So
you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
So when you
John Wick is the best revenge movie franchise right now.
True,
hands down. True. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama.
Scroll down, kids. So that's interesting. Yeah. So by your comparison, so The Crow is basically Batman. The Bride is basically either Spawn or Moon Knight.
Well, she chopped the top off her head, so I would say Moon Knight.
Oh, true. I'm just saying,
not quite a face, but she's just a little deranged.
I'm just saying, yeah, those two. They're killers before, yeah. Stuff happened to them, and
so yeah, and that's what I got to thinking about. Can't think too hard about it.
Yeah.
But she's a bad person, and she tried to change her life, but karma.
Well, yeah, she wanted out, and they were just like, nope.
You can't be out, blood in, blood out, and she didn't understand that. Like, he didn't have to do that at her wedding and take her baby, but like, blood in, blood out.
Well, that was a big message. It's like, don't F with Bill. Yeah.
So, but it's a good revenge movie, but like, there's tears to it, and like I said, we all obviously know that John Wick is the best revenge movie currently right now. So there's a ton of good ones though. Like, if you really want to get into it, you could put the Creed trilogy in there. You could put Memento, honestly.
Oh yeah,
you really get it. But like I said, I think Crow is top notch, and just an innocent guy getting caught up in the circumstances, definitely the best. After The Crow comes Gladiator in that same category.
Oh, okay.
I'll don't tell anybody, but Payback with Mel Gibson, also pretty good. Now, depending on the perspective of who you see as the antagonist and protagonist of the movie, Old Boy is the original one, not the American remake. The original. I cannot stress this enough. The original Old Boy is good revenge. Good revenge.
Nice. I'm trying.
You sit down.
I'm trying to remember what action movies were out around this time in 2003. Is maybe another factor for this is it was just like right place, right time.
Of its time. I think. Well, yeah, we were doing like stuff like The Core, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Rundown, Biker Boy. Like the original Old Boy also came out at this time. but it wasn't like I don't think like people were really because it wasn't an American film. I don't think people were really into it at that time, but it has since gone on to become like a really cult classic. But things like Shanghai Night and Timeline, like Underworld, like it stood head and shoulders above.
Oh yeah, Underworld.
With the exception of Once a Time in Mexico. I think that I'm pretty sure that came out in 2003, which is also a pretty good movie. The Antonio Banderas one.
Oh yeah. So, but
that is really good actually. But like so it was slim pickings in 2003 for sure. When you come to talk about like action movies and stuff,
so
like Underworld, people, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie that made Sean Connery quit acting, The Rundown, The Rise of the Rock, right? I'm just putting it into perspective.
Lilith's arch nemesis.
Serious. Oh, you had The Italian Job.
Oh yeah.
Geely. Agent Cody Banks, shout out to Frankie Muniz. This is my era of movies, right? You had Bad Boys 2, you had, like I said, Charlie's Angels. The second one was out.
Oh, so Lucy Liu was big. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I was so surprised to see her killed. Also, Tomb Raider. I think it's The Cradle of Life, not the first one though. Yeah,
that sounds about right. Yeah.
So you had action movies, but like this was head and above and shoulders above them all. Is what I'm, with the exception of a couple of like outliers. So but like to my point though, I think Kung Fu was like kind of a thing because they really did the wire work in Charlie's Angels 1 and 2 as well. Then you have Bulletproof Monk where they did it.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. Yeah,
it was a really big thing. I think they did a little bit of wire work in Once Upon a Time in Mexico too, if I remember right. Also Pirates of the Caribbean is the outlier, I would say, for that year too. You had Man Apart with Vin Diesel, so you had a couple of different genres, but like The Matrix Revolutions was 2003. So like this, like from I'd say probably 1992 to like 2014. Like I know my movies. Like I know the movies that I loved. I think Van Damme put out like his last actual theatrical release in 2003 too.
As your main name
the In Hell one.
Yeah,
so,
as you're naming all these movies, it's coming back to me. Yes.
Yeah, like it was okay to have a mid-budget movie back then. Like either it's like right now where we are, either it's like mainstream superhero movie or it's an indie, or it's like an outlier like Oppenheimer or Barbie. But everything's kind of one or the other at this point.
Oh yeah.
Back then we had like those mid-budget films and stuff like that, and you could spin a franchise off with like less proof of being able to be bankable. Like I said, you'll never see a movie like Biker Boys again unless it's straight to DVD. You had SWAT. They were remaking a lot of those old like 70s and 80s shows.
Oh yeah,
Colin Farrell was big then.
Oh yeah, wasn't this the era where we were doing what Starsky and Hutch or
Elektra was from 2003? I'm just putting this in perspective. If you really want to go head to head, I would say Elektra and Kill Bill. That's the bar. Those are the two. That
this is definitely
female-led action movie about revenge, right?
And this is definitely the superior movie.
Underworld too, I guess you could slot in there. So if you like really want to it just depends on how you want to compare.
Yeah.
Stream of consciousness. Please be sure to listen to Full Stream Ahead, where I kind of talk about stuff like this all the time.
That's right. All right. What was it? Oh, you know what? I was gonna say, if this movie had come out in a different era at a different time, I could have seen them like doing sequels and spin-offs and stuff. Basically, her.
Well, yeah.
It's like now I got my revenge. Now I'll go help other people get their. No.
It would be the daughter, and then that would be her story. That'd probably take 3 movies.
Oh, that's true.
To train and do the research about her mom and.
Oh yeah, I mean you could already do the
and maybe even kill the bride's daughter. Like, well, your mom's dead, so you're the next best thing. And then you know what I mean?
That's true. We have at least 2 daughters. I mean, yeah, you can always do the next, 20 years
later. Or maybe
later.
They just team up and dismantle the whole organization that killed both their moms. Who knows? It's so many ways you could have taken it.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame that he just decided not to do a follow up. Like the iconography of this movie is epic. The sound of this movie is epic, and it's just like one of the best things he ever did. And I think he's too scared to go back to the well because I don't think he feels like he can live up to that.
Because that's the thing. You don't even have to see Uma Thurman. All you have to see is that yellow, suit from the end, and
even just the sword, honestly.
Oh yeah, and what movie it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who cosplayed back in 2003 to 2006 as this character. Man, college, what a time to be alive.
Why did you do it?
No, not me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into like wearing pleather at a Halloween party. You know, that's not my thing.
Thought maybe you went to a con.
I never saw. It was always Halloween parties. I've never really noticed somebody dress up as the bride at Comic-Cons. Because it's not like really a comic book thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, I could see that year maybe, but
nah. See, that's the weird thing. Like you have to remember, like mainstream culture was not nerdy back in 2000. It was like
true.
Kind of
True.
We were in the dark times in 2000. Like I said, Electra.
Yeah,
I was just putting that into Matrix Revolutions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? The best revenge movie, though? I'd either say it's Death Wish or Leon the Professional.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I was going to say Death Wish is probably one of the all-time, yeah.
Yeah, that's the all-time greats, like, if you're an old man. Like, I totally get, like, Charles Bronson was that guy at that time, you know what I mean? And I have an appreciation for that movie. I think they went on to make, like, 5 of them or something. So that's a bit much. But
and I mean, we mentioned, like, it's like some of those Westerns, like, revenge movies.
Well, like I said, a lot of the Westerns are based on, like, maybe not Louis L'Amour specifically, but, like, a lot of Western authors had, like, these long, epic, like, series that were, like, 10, 20 books long. And that's why you have that Fistful of Dollars trilogy. A lot of the Westerns are trilogies because it's based around, like, books and stuff. So that's how they kind of feed back into that. So that makes sense for me, why they would do it. And plus, it was, like, successful. They literally drove Westerns into the ground. Would you consider The Princess Bride a revenge story?
I think.
I mean, you killed my father, the whole spiel.
I think it is a revenge movie, but
it's a little sillier, right?
Because there's comedy involved and stuff. Yeah, that's why it seems so different. And yeah, you can argue because it's a comedy, but yeah. Okay.
Oh no, the best, historically speaking, the best. And I love every single version of this movie, The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Specifically the one with Jim Caviezel and a young Henry Cavill, unfortunately, but yes. I love all versions of that movie, and I love that book. I love anything by Alexander Dumas. But yeah, I think that is one of the most epic revenge stories, and I want somebody to do Count of Monte Cristo, but make it Kill Bill.
Oh my! I mean,
I think that would be absolutely perfect.
Do like a modern take on it.
Yeah. Kind of like, you know, that Romeo and Juliet that we all had to, well, probably not you, but people my age had to watch in high school along with the old one where they're like literal naked teenagers in it.
Oh my. That is a weird thing. It's like, what was that, 70s, where it's like, yeah, you just had like underage nudity in movies.
Shout out to Brooke Shields who survived it all.
Yeah.
Blue Lagoon, the kids are not the Blue Lagoon. What is that movie?
Wasn't it Blue Lagoon or something?
What? Yeah, what was Blue Lagoon? I'm not tripping. And her Calvin Klein, like, yeah, it was a weird thing.
I'm like, how did they get away with that in the 70s? I'm just like,
well, if you know anything about Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah.
It was a wild time. It's been a wild time in Hollywood for a long time, and a lot of people deserve their comeuppance. Is all I'll say. So, but yeah, it was wild back in the 70s. Like, there was barely any child actor rights. Like, parents were taking their money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And all these things, and you know, the past informs the future, right, and the present. And it's like, when is Quentin Tarantino gonna have his heyday?
Oh my!
Like, despite this whole controversy, like you didn't know about it. Like,
yeah.
Crazy! It's crazy he's still making movies.
Again, it doesn't seem like most people don't get canceled forever. It's like you may get canceled for like, I don't know, 5-10 years, and then you can make a miraculous comeback.
Unless you're Bill Cosby.
Well, again, has it been 5 or 10 years since his trial?
I don't know. That thing took forever. So
I know. And again, he did serve his, they'll be like, oh, he served his time, even though.
I don't think so.
It wasn't near
a little different for Bill Cosby. If you know, you know. But I think he's probably going to be the only one, really. I think even Harvey Weinstein, like, people are kind of forgetting about, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Harvey Weinstein will never be able to work in the business again.
But... Oh, he will. He'll have somebody be his puppet, but we'll all know it'll be an open secret.
He'll be behind the scenes. Yeah.
The money man's the money man.
Oh, yeah.
So, on that terrible note, I will give Kill Bill 1. Like, if I think about when I first saw it, I loved it so much, and I thought it was a solid A-.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I still give it a B+. I mean, if you take all the other stuff out of it, it's an interesting movie. I love the construction of it. But you have to think about how it was made, why it was made, and you put it in that framework, and if you put it up, like I said, if you put it against any of the other movies that came out in that year,
oh yeah,
I can see why everybody loved it. And it came out in October, so we're right at the tail end of it. People are only gonna, most people only really remember like the summer movies and like to December. They don't really remember the stuff that comes out January through like May, right?
But
so I think that also had it going for itself, that it would, the time that it came out.
Oh yeah, like I said, right place, right time, again.
And like I said, they made a real big deal about the female cast as being mostly female-led cast. They're all over 40. And that was a big thing because ageism in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
he played everybody like a fiddle.
Especially 2003, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Uma and Ethan's kid though. She looks literally like some people, how you're like, oh, you look just like your mom, you look just like your dad. No, she looks like just like both of them. It's wild. It's like the perfect mix of them. She's on like Stranger Things or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Maya Hawke or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
so yeah, we could actually do prequels to these movies because I'd believe it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that, or if you want to make a movie with the daughter, I mean, you get
exactly.
Yeah, either way.
I mean, we have options, but I don't know how. Like, I don't think anybody would do it because they don't want to piss him off or something.
Well, yeah, you'd have to convince him to do that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't even have to direct the right. Just let me have the rights to it at this point. Just saying. I just think that there's so much that we could have. But then again, you don't want it to become like Marvel or DC where we're just doing spinoffs after spinoff. Or, heaven forbid, no tea, no shade, The Boys.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
doing an awful lot of spinoffs. Like,
yeah, don't do like 20 spinoffs. It's like if you want to do like a sequel.
I definitely would love a prequel and then a sequel.
Yeah.
To see the daughters grow up and maybe meet and cross paths and decide what they're going to do about each other.
Yeah, and if you do the prequel, we could show how the Assassin's Club comes together and stuff.
That was the most interesting thing for me. I was like, I actually really want to know about the gang. What's going on here?
I know, it almost seems like Bill had his little harem,
Yeah, another little creepy. But then, I read a study one time about female, like, government agents, right? Like NSA, CIA, even like Russian, right? Like, women actually hesitate less to kill.
No.
Like, that's a thing. I
can see it.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know if he, like, it's a movie. It's supposed to be fun. You don't have to think too hard about it. But I think if you put just a little more thought into it, it could really be a little bit better.
If you really wanted to go dark with this thing, you could have been like, that wasn't Bill's kid, but he basically just took the baby, tried to kill her and then took the baby to I'm going to raise her and train her to, take your place and stuff.
Even better than you, yeah.
Basically be, Damian Wayne,
Yeah. A lot of interesting things that could have, would have, should have happened, but like, I film as is.
Oh, yeah.
Solid B+.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. I think, just when you first see it, you're like, oh, yeah, this is, But yeah, over time, it goes from like an A to like, let's say B+, but yeah.
Yeah. Which is still pretty solid. Like I said, none of the other movies from 2003 were getting a B+. Maybe SWAT. I do like the SWAT movie, but it has Samuel L. Jackson in it, so.
But yeah, Elektra's not getting that.
Elektra's lucky if she don't get a damn F.
I know. The Matrix Revolutions.
To be concluded, right into the ground for 20 years. Anyway. One day we will have to talk about The Matrix as one of those perfect 90s movies.
Okay, yeah.
It's like right up there with Fight. Look, 1999 was a hell of a year for movies.
Oh my
hell of a year for movies.
I mean, do you remember the advertising for that thing? They even tell you what it was. They're like, what is The Matrix? What is, it's just...
Bro, I had the video game. I watched the anime. Look, listen, I'm a Matrix, but we all know 3 and 4, they should have just let it die. I was so shocked that Keanu Reeves came back. Honestly, I was really shocked. But I think he was doing Lana a favor. Honestly, I didn't think she wanted to come back. To be quite honest, really, when the 4th Matrix movie happened, I'm like, I thought everybody involved said we were never going to deal with Warner Brothers. We were never going to speak of this again. So yeah, we definitely have to do some Matrix stuff one of these days.
Oh yeah. Well, at least the first one, definitely.
Yeah.
That was iconic. All right. Anything else, Lilith?
Nope. Don't want to keep you from watching your beautiful, beautiful Madam Web.
Oh, God, yeah. All right. So, yeah, but next time, kids, we're going to talk another movie, Wayne's World.
You are not worthy.
We're not worthy. So, yes, but we will get the Kill Bill Volume 2 sometime in March or April. So, stay tuned for that. Because that is actually the 20th anniversary. So
yeah, maybe a live commentary.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can do that.
Break out your what was that? What was that app you had us use?
Oh yeah. What is that? The Hero or whatever app? Yeah. No, yeah.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, please. Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. Oh, you know what else we're gonna have to plan? We're actually gonna have an episode drop on the podcast on my birthday. So.
Oh, what kind of shenanigans should we pull?
I don't know. I was gonna say you were kind of here last time. We need to. What says Phil? What says Petty?
Let's work on that.
All right. So yes, kids. So send us your thoughts on all the Kill Bill stuff. Like I said, Volume 2 is coming. So send your thoughts on that, on this one, on Wayne's World coming up. What do you want to hear us talk about? Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, our social media, merchandise, help support us, link to our YouTube, link to our we have a random Cash App link if you just want to rain money on us.
If you're feeling benevolent.
Yes, and not. So yes, please just make it rain. Like the blood at the end of this movie, just make it rain.
Make it rain.
Oh no. And of course, you can also help support us and get bonus content on our Patreon. So get that, because again, you never know what we're going to cover. Lilith and I are going to, at the end of February, are going to cover the AVN Awards, and then in March we may get some hot topic Lilith Hellfire conspiracy theories. So
yeah, send in the conspiracy theories you want me to talk about.
Exactly. So,
but if it's not birds not real, I might not. I'm kidding. Whatever you want. I can talk any conspiracy theories.
Yes. So find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
I don't think you caught me. You can send it to CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, but the official email for the show is saltyandpetty69@gmail.com. And you know you're going to...
It's been 56 episodes. Get it together, brother.
I feel like that old lady at Titanic. It's been 56. saltyandpetty69@gmail.com. You know you'll remember that one, kids. All right, and Lilith Hellfire is on the Facebooks, like your grandma.
Yeah, friend me on Facebook. But more importantly, download all the episodes. You can go outside, touch some grass, and listen to the episodes. Get some fresh air, because we might not have it too much longer.
Listen to the podcast, watch the YouTube channel.
Spread it out!
Well, at least subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See if you can be number 400.
69.
Somebody was trying to sneak it in.
We'll do a special when we get that one. All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Again, we'll lighten it up a little bit next week with a review of Wayne's World.
But I don't think we'll ever have to do Wayne's World 2.
Nah, we'll have to be desperate to do Wayne's World 2. I just rewatched both of them recently, and yeah.
Yeah, me too. I just said, well, here.
It was on HBO. I was just like, oh, I'll give it a chance, and yeah, we'll just do the first one. All right, kids, come back. Get your revenge.